Whenever I watch beginners out on court, I see how difficult it is to get started at tennis. They spend half their time chasing around picking up the balls, and the rest of their time just smashing away any old how. Looking at this lot, there's got to be a better way.
Oh my God, come on, let's come over here. Watching you play tennis, or if that's what you can call it, reminded me of a gunfight at the OK Corral, or a blitz during the wartime. My word, it was dangerous out there, do you know that? Really dangerous. But it established one thing. You've got a lot of ball sense, but there's a lot of hard work to be done. You've all got very good ball sense, but you haven't got any control over the ball, so you weren't able to maintain a rally. And secondly, the control over your bodies and the racket, well, you know, it was really quite pathetic. In parks and in recreation grounds, this is a very typical sight. Beginners bashing away each other. They've seen Wimbledon and they think it's all so easy. And it breaks my heart. It really does when I see these beginners giving up through frustration or lack of progress. This method, if you like, is one where we bring control into tennis. We start much nearer together and we play the ball slowly to one another. Then we shall learn much quicker, much faster, and it really will be very enjoyable. If we haven't got enough control over the racket to help each other, then we've got to set the ball up for each other in a slightly different way. Okay, and to do this, we simply toss the ball one to another. I'd like to get David, if you would, to help me in this demonstration. Now you see that we are opposite each other and there are a couple of markers down on the floor. And I'm going to ask David if he'll just move over to my right, that's his left, and I do the same. And we should just simply try and bounce the ball off of our marker, and there's an alleyway down the middle. I catch the ball outside and in front of my right leg. I toss the ball from the fingertips, the rhythm of the ball going backwards and forwards. So in a way, that is a small rally, a simple rally. If you like, we're playing tennis without rackets. And there couldn't be anything easier than that. But there, you see. And now we could do that by putting movement. Put me over to the right, for example, there. And I catch the ball again outside. If you'd like to do the same, it's fine. That's fine. Good. Let's go out on court and practice that, shall we? Paul, you see where Janet is catching the ball? She's catching the ball continually in front of the body. She's using her body as a base, and I wanted to catch the ball outside and in front of her right leg just after the top of the bat. So you've got to remind her of this. And the reason that we're doing this, of course, is this is where we're going to make contact with the ball later on. So if you'll just set the ball up for her like that. Could you toss the ball back a minute, Janet, please? Okay, now, tell her to actually put her hand outside of there. Go on, tell her to do that.
Keep your arm fully extended.
That's it. Good.
Keep your feet shoulder width.
That's it. Very good. Now, concentrate on that. There, that's much better. Very good. Kirsty and Julie seem to be having a bit of a problem. I think Julie is snatching at the ball instead of catching the ball with the palm of her hand. Kirsty, you see what Julie's doing? She's snatching at the ball instead of letting it drop and catching it just after the top of the bounce. The ball is at the highest point and see she's snatching at it, okay? You try and get her. Now, just did it again. Now, we've got to think of a way in which to stop that. Put the palm of the hand towards me. That's it. Now, keep the hand in that position, and when I toss the ball to you, Julie, catch it just after the top. There you are. Good. Okay, now you tell her to do that, and watch it. If she doesn't do it, you tell her to do it. Good. It's still, yeah, but it's still not just after the top of the bounce, is it? Tell her to move her feet. That was much better. That was very good. Well done. Well, the underarm toss practice was excellent, apart from a few minor errors. But of course we don't play tennis by just tossing the ball to one another, we play it with a racket. And I have pre-recorded some strokes here on the monitor, which I'd like you to have a look at. The 5 basic tennis shots you're going to learn are of 3 different kinds. The forehand and backhand are swinging actions from the shoulder. You use different grips for the 2 shots, but the action in both is a swing. The 2 volleys, forehand and backhand, are both a punch or a push from the shoulder, taking the ball out of the air rather than letting it bounce. And finally, the service, which is a different again, and is a throwing action. The racket head is thrown at the ball. Now let's have a look at the forehand in slow motion, and I'll show you the important parts of the stroke. First there's the ready position, then the shoulder turn, then the step and backswing. The forward swing, making contact and a follow through.
And once again from another angle. There's the ready position, the shoulder turn, the step and run, the backswing, the contact point and follow through.
The most important part of the strokes that you've just seen, I consider to be the contact point. So you want to make very good contact here in the middle of the racket. You can have a fantastic backswing and follow through, but if the contact point isn't good, then of course it's a waste of time. So I'm going to teach the contact point from 4 of the 5 basic strokes. I find that holding the racket with the full grip for beginners is too difficult, so we're going to hold the racket with what I call the short grip. That means putting 3 fingers actually onto the strings of the racket with the thumb and the small finger around the throat. We're going to do all the exercises in this series with an open racket face. That means that the strings of the racket are pointing towards the sky. We want to make contact outside and in front of the right leg with the racket parallel to the ground. I'd like to get Janet now to toss the ball for me so that I can show you the contact point on the forehand. Now notice that I play the ball upwards rather than forwards, and that there's very little backswing and very little follow through. All I'm interested in is the contact point. Janet, if you do that for me again, please. And I take the ball outside and in front of the right leg. Now we can do that for the forehand volley. So if Janet just come a little bit nearer, I put my racket as a target in the position in which I wanted to throw it. And again, it's an open racket face. The entire racket head is towards the ball, and I've got the length and the width in this position. Now, the 3 fingers are again behind the strings of the racket, and Janet tosses the ball. I'm in an open stance, and I play the ball again upwards, so that it bounces in front of it. This is very important for later on, and slowly. Now, of course, we can do the same on the backhand, but what is important here is that the thumb is supporting the back of the racket, and now my fingers are on the front of the strings, and I take my racket outside and in front of the left leg, again with an open racket face, and the strings of the racket parallel to the ground. I get Rosemary to do an underarm toss. It's a little bit too long, and so I've got to go backward, and I play the ball upward rather than forward. Notice that I bend the legs to get the feeling of lift, and now I can do this on the backhand volley. Again, I show the entire strings to the ball, the length and the width of the racket head, and I get Rosemary, and I bend my legs and keep the racket head high. And I think this is very important on the backhand volley. And she tosses the ball directly onto my racket, and if it's a bit low, I bend the legs and play the ball upwards rather than forwards. Let's go out on court and practice that, shall we? Stop, Stephen, if you just for a moment. Andrew is moving his wrist too much on this contact point, So I want you to help him by reminding him of the fact and toss the ball so that he doesn't have to move very much. Just set it up and put him under no sort of pressure and tell him to keep that racket parallel to the ground and no movement with the racket head. Okay? If you could help him do that. In actual fact, I do toss the ball and I give him the feeling by just holding my hand there. Forwards, that's it. So that it bounces in front of Stephen. There. Okay. Keep it firm. That's better, much better. Well done, Andrew. Good. Move the feet. Good. There's here another typical mistake with Gordon and Rosemary. Gordon has actually got the racket behind his back and he's hitting the ball too late. So I think I'll tell Rosemary about that and get... okay, could you stop just for a moment? Rosemary, look, Gordon's holding the racket behind his back and it wants to be out in front here, all right? So you have to remind him of it. Let's see now if Gordon can stand with the racket again parallel to the ground, open stance, and keep this racket in front of your body because we want to start to take the ball early, just after the top of the bounce. Now set the ball up well for him. No backswing and no follow through. That's much better. Very good. Great. Well, that's cured that. Now you can move him around a little bit from left to right. Good. No backswing and very little follow through. Just make contact with the ball. And you see now that this is where you will actually catching the ball with the underarm toss. Move the feet quickly and play the ball more upwards again than forwards. Play it upwards. Get a feeling of lift. That's very good. Excellent. Well done. I think Georgie is scooping the ball up. This is another mistake on the forehand. Just a moment. When she's making contact with the ball, she's not actually got the racket parallel to the ground, Liz. She's holding it and just scooping it here. Now, as she's your partner, I want you to help her and keep on reminding her that this racket should remain parallel to the ground so that the racket head's in this position and not dropping down here. All right? Good. Don't put her under any pressure to start with. Just give her a simple underarm toss, set the ball up really well, and then when she's got it, then you can start to move her from left to right, and so that she starts to do this with the open stance and small dance-like steps. That's good. Well done. Good. Keep it level. Play the ball more upwards than forwards. Get the feeling of lift. That's it. Play the ball in front of Liz. This is very important for later on. Good. Not so much follow through. Just learn to make contact. Good. Andrew, Stephen. Look where Stephen is holding his racket, Andrew. He's holding it much too much in front of his body. That's right. Now you want him to get it way outside of the left leg and tell him to put it there before you actually introduce the ball. Okay? Go on, tell him to do it.
Put the racket by...
Outside of the left leg. That's right, outside of the left leg. That doesn't matter. And set the ball up in line to the racket head and force him a little bit outside of that left leg. I do it for you to begin with. That's it. Now that's much better. You see that? Now, you do it again. Okay, now you do it. Okay, come over here a bit. That's it. Over there. Now, set the ball up in line with the racket. That's it. Now, you see, it forces him more or less to play outside of... Don't throw the ball directly at his body. Always stand a little bit over here and set it up for him again, outside of that left leg. Very good, Stephen. Well done. Let's have a look at Liz and Georgie. Yeah, Liz is having a bit of a problem that she's not, in actual fact, playing the ball upwards. She's playing the ball far more forwards. So I told Georgie, yeah, she put in Georgie under too much pressure. So I told Georgie and Liz about this. Liz, if you could open the racket face, actually open the racket face so that the strings are pointing more towards the sky, and let the extended arm, that's it, that's good. Now, when Georgie tosses the ball, I want you to think of playing the ball more upwards than actually forwards. You're playing the ball far too flat, and this would put Georgie under pressure later on when we're having a rally. Now, okay, I'll do the first one, Georgie, and just sort of set it. Feet shoulder width apart, very good. Outside of the left, well done. Now, think of playing the ball upwards. That's it, that's much better. And that's going to give Georgie more time when we come to a rally situation. Play the ball upwards. Very good. Not quite as high, but that's much better than playing it more forward. Very good. Okay, Georgie, just see if you can correct that with Liz. Yes, a little bit. Okay, now it's a bit of a strip, but that's not bad. It's much better than it was before. That's it. That's good. Let's now go on to the forehand and the backhand volley. Watch the ball. Andrew and Stephen, you're playing the ball down, Stephen. You're not playing the ball up. You want to put the racket head, you want his racket head in line with his own head. All right, and you've got to use that racket head as a target and place the ball onto the racket head. So you can bend the legs and really try and put it on there, you see, like that. And I want Stephen to open the racket face. That's right, and play the ball upwards and bring the racket a bit more in front of you, okay? There's no backswing and very little follow through, but you want to take the ball in a nice position for the volley. Good, that's much better. Keep it, show the whole length and the width of the racket face to the ball. Okay, good. So, Andrew, off you go. Good, fine. Okay, it's a bit hard. Gently. Good. That's better, actually. Much better. Good. Fine. So we're going to bring this into a rally situation. Therefore, we need to introduce the ball to ourselves. We take the ball and put it outside and in front of the racket head with our fingertips and toss the ball gently in the air so that the bounce of the ball is racket head height. Many people just simply let the ball drop, and then of course the bounce of the ball is too low and they're scratching about trying to get up underneath the ball, or they turn their wrist and thump the ball down onto the ground, and therefore the bounce is very high. And this first ball is very important, because if we're to have a rally, we don't want to put our partner under any form of pressure. We want to play the ball upwards slowly and try and see how often we can get this ball now backwards and forwards over the net. So I'm going to demonstrate with Stephen, open racket face, in the contact point position, and I will now introduce the ball, and we will try and have our first simple rally. Now you've got to play the ball upwards. If you could give the ball then to me, Stephen. Thank you very much. Now, toss the ball upwards. There's a good bounce. Outside. Okay, good. We can move our feet. Get the feeling of lift. Play the ball outside. Again, bend the legs. Play the ball more upwards, Stephen. Underneath the ball. After the top of the bounce. Keep the racket in front of your body, parallel to the ground. That's excellent, very good. Well done. This time, I take my left hand over the top of the racket head. I introduce the ball in exactly the same way, from the fingertips. And again, this first ball is very important. I play the ball upwards, rather than forwards. And as you can see, we can simply learn the backhand very quickly. We don't need a long time to get a backhand rally going. Okay, let's go away and practice that. So let's put a bit of competition into this. Let's start counting, shall we? Stephen and Andrew, off we go. Now, let's have a look. 1, 2, move the feet. Come on, move each other about. It's a rally, don't forget. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Play the ball upwards. 14. Move. Well done, 15. Good, fine, great. Come on, Rosie. Good. Don't let it drop too much. Don't let it drop too much. That's it. 31. 33. Get the feeling, that's it, that's it. Just the contact point. That's great, good control, good control. Wonderful. Oh, you don't want to stop. Oh, you're 153. I think once you get up over 100, it's enough, don't you? The middle grip, you just slide your hand down from the short grip to the middle grip. Now, when we had the short grip, there was a lovely feeling of making contact with the ball, and we're getting a feeling through the fingertips of making contact with the ball. And now we slide our hand down to the middle grip, like this. And of course, we've got the forehand grip, and we can have a rally from there. If I want to now get a backhand grip, I just simply turn the racket into my body, and there's a hump. Turn the hand on top of the racket and lose the hump, and that is virtually a backhand grip. I don't want to talk too much about grips at this stage, because grips are very personal, but you want a good feeling on the back of the racket with the thumb. You just then now put the fingers underneath the throat of the racket, for example, on the backhand side, and now the contact point is that much further away from the body, exactly on the forehand. You see, I change grip here. So I've got a forehand grip and a backhand grip. Good. Come on. See if we can have this rally as long with the middle grip as we do with the short grip. There's no backswing. There's no backswing or follow through. It's just a contact point. If you're volleying, take the ball early. Move the feet if the ball is on the wrong side. If you're practicing backhands, only backhands. If you're practicing forehands, then only forehands. If you're volleying, keep the racket head up and play the ball slowly. We've learnt the contact point from 4 of the 5 basic strokes: on the forehand volley, on the backhand, and on the backhand volley. And in this session, we're going to add further parts of the stroke. Let's have a look at the monitor. Now here again we see the stroke in slow motion from the ready position, the shoulder turn, starting off with the left foot, and the contact point, which of course you've already learned. Again, the early preparation, but now pay particular attention to the backswing, the contact point, and the follow-through. And in this session, we're going to concentrate on the backswing and the follow-through. But first, the follow-through. I'm going to get Julia to toss a ball for me, and I'm going to make contact. If you just toss the ball, underarm toss, I make contact, and I stop. I bring the racket forwards and upwards in slow motion, so that the racket head goes past my face and that the edge of the racket is in line with my left eye. The arm is relatively straight. The angle between the wrist and the racket has remained the same. Let's just do it once more, Julia. Just toss the ball. Very good. I make contact, stop, and follow through in slow motion. Now we can do the same on the backhand side, but before I do this, a simple way of changing the grip is to bring the head of the racket towards your body, and now there is a hump. I simply lose this hump by turning the hand on top, and now I've got the thumb on the back edge of the racket, and I bring it again outside of my left leg, and I get Georgie to toss the ball. I make contact and follow through in slow motion to a count of 5. Again, the racket is on edge. The angle between the wrist and the racket again hasn't changed, and the arm is relatively straight. Now, this is a very important part of the stroke, because I'm actually going to guide the ball into the position of where I'm going to play it. And if I learn the follow-through now, it will stay with me all through my tennis career. It's a very important part of the stroke. Very many players do this part of the stroke quickly to disguise that they really don't understand what this part of the stroke is all about. So I get Georgie to do it again. Now I bend my legs, I make contact, I'm still in an open stance, and I follow through, bringing the racket forwards and upwards in slow motion. Now on the volleys, we don't have to worry too much because there's not very much backswing, and of course there's very little follow through on either side, on either the forehand or the backhand. Now let's go on court and practice that, shall we? Paul seems to be rolling the racket over the ball in the follow through. Okay, stop, Janet. Now, I did say that I wanted the racket to come from the contact point forward and upward in slow motion, so that the edge of the racket would now, of course, because Paul's a left-hander, in line with his right eye, and that the angle here doesn't change. So, as you can see, he's having a tendency to do this, and a lot of the balls would therefore go into the net. So, I'd like him to stop after making contact, and then follow through, Paul, in slow motion to a count of 5. You can actually count aloud and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Let's see you do that then, Janet. And then after a few seconds, you can get him then to do it all in one go. You can actually forget the stop and then slowly, continuously bringing the racket forward and upwards. Okay. Let's see it this time. Make contact and follow through. Very good. So we seem to have cured that. Now when he's got that, then you can start to move him to the left or to the right and get him to move his feet again. Let's have a look at Julia and Kirsty. Well, Kirsty doesn't actually seem to be following through enough. Stop, Julia, stop. Okay, now look. Kirsty, when she's bringing the racket forward, she's bringing the racket up into this position, and she's not bringing it past the face. So again, it's more or less the same correction. We stop after making contact, bring the racket forward and upward in slow motion, and stop in this position. Kirsty's actually got to stop in this position, and you've got to say, okay, that's fine, good, and then do it again. And do it very slowly, not so quickly, the balls one after the other, okay? So, and make contact. Stop and follow through, forget the ball, follow through. Show Julia that you've understood where to follow. It doesn't matter about that for a moment. Actually practice the part of the stroke that I've just told you. If you didn't make good contact, okay, but you will next time, I expect. That's it. Now. That's it. Good. Okay, but did you check? You didn't, did you? You've got to check. You've got to hold it there. Count to 5. Come on. And follow through. Good. Keep the racket head up, on edge. And follow through. Very good. That's it. Now do it slowly. That's much better. It's always got to go past her face, Julia, the racket. Because you're guiding the ball now where you want it to go with this follow through. Now let's put a bit of movement into it, shall we? Toss the ball directly at your partner and make him move to the left or to the right, but the follow through should remain. Keeping an open stance. Okay, that's fine. Stop. Let's put that now into a rally situation and keep the follow through. So if you'll get your rackets, introduce the ball again, of course, correctly to yourself, and now have a rally and concentrate on the follow through. Off you go. Keeping an open stance. Take the ball early, open stance, follow through slowly, but keep a rally going. Don't forget to support the racket with the non-playing hand and bring it back after every stroke. Move the feet and play only forehands or backhands, in fact, what you're practicing. Don't mix them up. In fact, I'd rather see you move the feet or start a new rally. Move the feet quickly and play the ball slowly. Move the feet quickly, Paul, that's better. Try and play the ball short and in front of your partner. It's easier to come forwards than it is to go backwards. But of course, if the ball is deep, then you have to. That is very good, very, very good. The middle grip practice follow-through was excellent, and now I'm going to teach you the backswing. But before I do, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the grips. We virtually learnt the forehand grip, and we just slide our hand down now to the full grip position. I can take a pen, and I put it between my first finger and the side of the racket, and when the pen is vertical, that is virtually the forehand grip. Now, if I put the pen on the top of the racket, and now the pen is parallel to the ground, that is a backhand grip. Okay, now I'm going to get Andrew to toss the ball to me, but I'm going to put the racket in the backswing position. What's important about this is that the elbow is near the body and relatively straight. The racket is parallel to the ground and on edge, and I'm in an open stance, and I want Andrew to toss the ball in this position. You toss the ball, I bring the racket head round, I make contact and follow through. And now I can do the same by bringing the racket into the contact position, and as the ball approaches, I take the racket back and again follow through. You notice there I had to move over because Andrew actually hadn't tossed the ball in the correct position. But if you will now aim for my racket head, I take the racket back, bend the legs and follow through. Now, that is a straight backswing, but we can also do it with a loop. And that means that I bring the racket head high, the forearm is parallel to the ground, I take the racket head back, follow through to this position. So what's important here with this loop backswing is that when I take the racket back, I take it back just below the level of the ball that I want to make contact with. So I get Andrew again to toss the ball. Thank you, Andrew. I come up underneath the ball, and this is why we have learnt to catch the ball just after the top of the bounce, and in actual fact to make contact with the ball just after the top of the bounce. I'll do it just once more, Andrew. If you just toss the ball, that's excellent. I come up underneath the ball and follow through. Let's go on court and practice that, shall we? There seems to be a problem here with Gordon and Rosemary. In actual fact, Gordon's racket isn't in the backswing position, so stop. Now, Rosemary, I want you to wait until Gordon has his racket in the backswing position. The racket is on edge, the arm relatively straight and near the body, and you come over now to where the racket head is going to go, over this way a little bit more. He's going to bring his racket from this position round a good contact point, and of course the follow through is still there. And make sure that you don't introduce the ball until the racket is actually in this position. Okay, off you go. So, no, now she introduces the ball, and now good contact and follow through. Good, that's excellent. Now wait, check everything, is it right? And follow through. Not too quickly, check to see if Gordon's got his racket in the backswing position. Okay, so that's excellent. And then when he has, you can introduce the ball. Do the movement in one, Gordon. You're tending to come a little bit to the old position and then do it. Actually, bring the racket through and follow through all in one go. That's it. much better. Very good. Okay, here's another mistake here with Georgie and Elizabeth. Georgie has her racket again in the backswing so that it's hanging towards the ground. Maybe this is because now we're coming to the full grip and the head of the racket is heavy. But again, okay, sorry Liz, but again look, I want you to check before you introduce the ball that the racket head isn't dropping into this position, okay? So you keep the racket, make sure that the racket is parallel to the ground and on edge, and that the elbow and the arm is relatively straight, and then maybe even come a little bit nearer, okay? Come a little bit nearer to one another and stand in line to where you're actually going to introduce the ball. You want to come away here a bit more because she's going to swing the racket forward and round and make good contact outside the and in front of the right leg, and then of course the follow through remains the same. So, okay. She keeps on having to move backwards. That's much better. Fine. How's Gordon coming on, Rosemary? Much better, is it? He's got a tendency to bring it forward and stop, though, hasn't he? He wants to come from there in one motion. Stephen, how's Andrew doing? He's all right? Good. Now let's add the loop. That's good, Stephen. Well done. That's what I like to hear. People starting to correct one another. Yes, he's got his elbow a little bit too far away and not the racket in line. So it wants to be a bit more like that, and this wants to be one continuous motion and follow through. The follow through you've learnt, you're doing great, that's good. But check every time before you introduce the ball. That's good, well done. Okay, stop. That's really very, very good. Now let's put that into a rally situation. Take the ball just after the top of the bounce. That's very good, very good. Move the feet. Try and keep the ball going. Bend the legs to get the feeling, bend the legs to get the feeling of lift. Do the movement all in one. The backswing on the forehand with and without loop was excellent. And now we're going to add the backswing onto the backhand. I'm going to do this with a backhand grip. I'm not going to change grips from forehand to backhand, so the thumb is on the back side of the racket. I'm going to support it with the left hand underneath the throat of the racket. The racket is again parallel to the ground. I'm taking the racket back, and then as I do this, I slide my left hand down towards my right hand, and this helps me to take the racket back. I bring the right hand with the thumb on my hip. The racket is again parallel to the ground. I bring the racket forward, away from the body. Gordon introduces the ball. I make contact and follow through. Now I can do this by putting the racket in the contact position. I get Gordon to introduce the ball. I take the racket back, make contact and follow through. Now at the end of the follow through position, the arm is relatively straight, the racket is on edge, and the angle between the wrist and the racket remains the same. Now let's go on court and practice that. Janet, when Paul's got the racket in the backswing position, he hasn't actually moved this down so that it's a much freer position at the back. It looks a little bit cramped. So don't introduce the ball until he's actually got it in that position. All right? Let's have a look. Feet shoulder width apart, Paul. A nice feeling of bending the legs when you're making contact with the ball. And Janet, you take notice of that. Stand in line and introduce it. Yeah? And again. Okay. He's taken the racket just a shade too far behind his back. He's taken it here, so he wants to be more or less parallel to the ground. Okay? Okay, good. That's better. And follow, good. The follow-through's good as well, Paul. You haven't forgotten that. Stop. Very good. Let's put that now into a rally situation. So if you could get your rackets, come a little bit further back, and off you go. Slowly, very slowly, back and forward, slowly. Come on, help each other, move the feet. Take the racket back. Come on, you're not taking the rackets back enough, are you? Come on, get the rackets back. And play only backhands. Concentrate on this backswing in this rally situation. Small dance-like steps, moving the feet quickly. Take the ball early, in front. This is why we're remaining in this open stance. Watch the lines on the ball. Watch what the ball is doing. And remember all the other things that we've learned. Taking the ball just after the top of the bounce, get the feeling of lift, bend the legs while making contact and a good follow through. But you're concentrating mainly on the backswing. Now, because I want to get the feeling of hitting up in the volley at first instead of hitting down, I'm going to actually kneel on the floor, and I want Stephen to do the same. I've got to play the ball upwards, and we're going to try and keep a rally going. Oh, sorry, that was a very bad ball from me to start with. Okay, there. Now, keep it going. Just play the ball upwards. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Don't worry about that, sunshine. That's all right. Racket head, head high. We're showing the entire racket head to the ball. And we're playing the ball upwards. We're not putting each other under any form of pressure, but of course there's a bit of a reaction. Very good. Now, because we can do that on the backhand side, let's try on the backhand side. It's exactly the same. Kneel down. No, you've got the wrong. That's it. Now, you want the racket head, head high again. Now, it's a little bit more difficult maybe, but I think we should be able to do this as well. Good. That's it. Ah, all right. Good. So let's go on court and practice that. Let's have that court all doing forehand volleys and this court all doing backhand volleys on one knee. Come on. Just play the ball upwards slowly. Okay, doesn't matter. No pressure. Don't want to put any pressure on each other. We've got the left. Try and get into a good position to each other, Julia. You'd have to come a little bit. That's it. Which leg are you going to have? That's fine. Now, very slowly, backwards and forwards to each other. Oh, no, you've got to play the ball. You've got to play the ball upwards a little bit, haven't you? Here, see, play the ball up. Try and get it up. Oh, no, no, no. Up, slowly. Doesn't matter about mistakes, but this will really teach you to get down for low volleys later on. Play the ball upwards, slowly. Try and make a little contest out of it, how many you can get. No, you're doing backhand, only backhand volleys. Try and keep the rhythm going, don't change into a forehand. Play the ball upwards. Try and keep the ball going slowly to one another. Help one another. Keep the racket head high. Take the ball early. Don't bring the racket head back. It's a volley, so it's a little push or a punch. Action from the shoulder. Let's have a look at the monitor and see the forehand in slow motion. Here you see the shoulder turn. I start off with the left foot. The backswing, I make good contact and I follow through. I sidestep back into the middle of the court. I'm in an alert position. I split step. I'm waiting again now for the ball. I turn. I start off again with the left foot. The left foot leads. I make contact with the ball. There's a good backswing and follow through. And I sidestep again back into the middle of the court. As you could see, there was an awful lot of movement in that. And this is what I find particularly interesting in this session. But we're going to start with the ready position. The feet comfortably apart, the left hand supporting the throat of the racket, the elbows in near to the body, but relaxed, the forearm parallel to the ground, the racket head high, and in a very comfortable and alert position, facing the net. And then the next part of this, what I'm going to show you, is the shoulder turn. So I turn the left shoulder, and again, the forearm remains parallel to the ground, and the racket head goes past my head, and I get Len, if you would, please, to introduce the ball. I take the racket back in a loop swing, make contact, and follow through. And here you'll notice that after making contact, the hips and the shoulders pivot into the stroke. I do that once more, Len, if you would, please. So you have to wait until I'm actually in the turn position before introducing the ball. So I turn, look for the weight transfer on the right foot, the left foot, only the toes are touching the ground, the racket head is head high, forearm parallel to the ground, and only then I want you to introduce the ball. So if I'm in a good position, you introduce the ball, I take the racket back slowly, I bring the left foot, bend this front leg, make contact, and follow through. And of course we can do the same on the backhand. I get Liz to help me here. The left hand is supporting the racket. I slide the left hand down the shaft of the racket, and as I do so, I change from a forehand to a backhand grip and bring it onto the left hip. The weight now is on my left foot, and the right foot, only the toes are touching the ground. This arm is slightly bent, and I'm in a position that I can only move with this right foot. Now, at this stage, Liz introduces the ball, and only when she sees that I'm in a turned position. So I get Liz, if she will, to introduce the ball. I step and make contact. Now, that ball was slightly too long, and so I had to put this foot further over into a more closed position. So if Liz would do that again, I'll explain it once more. I've got a forehand grip, good ready position, alert, facing the net, left hand underneath the throat of the racket. As I slide my hand down, I change the grip and bring it onto the left hip. The weight is on the left foot, the right foot, only the toes are touching the ground. And then at this stage, I get Liz to introduce the ball, I step, make contact, and follow through. And you'll notice now that I'm in a much more closed position than on the forehand. Okay, let's go out onto court and practice that, shall we? David, it still looks all a little bit stiff. I mean, we don't want a robot, do we? You know, we want him to really sort of weight transfer, look as if he's... Oh, it is, but we want him to bend his legs a little bit more. So I think we want him to bend his legs and really put this left foot forward towards the net, and a bit more fluency in the stroke, the backswing. You know, a really nice swing. It doesn't pivot right now. He's a bit stiff. So we've got to loosen him up a bit. Come on. Off you go. Turn. That's it. Get the bottom down, Len. Yeah. See? He's a bit... Try and set the ball up so that he can take it just after the top of the bounce. You see how important it is now setting the ball up. That was good. That was much better, wasn't it? Fine. Good. Very good. Okay, Stephen. I'm not really too worried about him sort of moving. I just want one step, but that's very good actually. If he wants to move his feet a bit, you see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but check. Let's have a little check and see if he's doing it correctly. The ready position. Okay, tell him to turn. I just want to watch while you reintroduce the ball. Turn. He get a bit awkward with that foot, but okay. Well, he wants his back up straight. That's it. Wants to sit a bit.
Yeah.
Get the bottom down a bit. Okay, introduce the ball. Okay, fine. That's not too bad. Yeah, he wants to try and get this front foot coming towards the net. You see.
Yeah.
All right. Off you go then.
Turn.
He's having to adjust sometimes, I think, to your toss, which is very, introducing to the ball, which is very good actually, because it's very natural, isn't it? Okay, that's great. Carry on practicing. Good, lovely follow through. Lovely follow through. He certainly learnt the follow through and the nice backswing. Okay, stop. That's very, very good. Let's change over now and do the backhand. So if you'd now like to introduce the ball and you'd like to take your rackets and do the backhand. Fine. So. Again, too short, huh? Okay, well, tell her, Liz, tell her. You've got to tell her. That's right, but that was very good. The follow-through's good. Follow-through's excellent, Liz. So, get her to turn. She's a bit stiff. Ah, look, that leg. Ah. Now, when she turns, you want to make sure that she's got a good weight transfer. Now, tell her, turn. Really mean it, turn. You want her to turn. You want to help her. Turn. Turn. That's it. Bend that. Sit. Get the bottom down. Yeah? Now, you introduce the ball, and you want one step, and there. Okay, now, bend that. That's it. Yeah. She doesn't want to bend, does she? Shape, but we've been rather neglecting the volleys. So I want to show you the volleys from the ready position. It's exactly the same. The left hand supports the throat of the racket. I've got a forehand grip, and I'd like to ask Len if he would to assist me in this demonstration. I'm in the ready position. There's a shoulder turn. Again, the weight transfer. I bring the left hand now round with my racket head, and I ask Len if he would just to toss the ball onto my racket head. That was a little bit near, and I bring the left foot forward, and there's a weight transfer, and I show the entire length and the width of the racket to the ball. I don't want to put any slice on it. I just, at this stage, simply want to make good contact. So I'll do that again, Len. I'm in the ready position. I turn, then you introduce the ball, and that was a little bit high, and I made very bad contact, as you could see. So we'll do it again. I'm in the ready position. I turn. Now, look for the target. That's much better, and I simply make contact. I've got a forehand grip, and now we can do exactly the same on the backhand side. So now I get Elizabeth to help me. I change my grip. Now the left hand plays another very important role because it helps me to support the back of the racket. I turn. I don't take the racket back. She introduces the ball, and I make contact. Very little follow through. Again, showing the entire length and width of the racket head to the ball. And the racket head is head high. Now, because the volley is a reaction stroke, I'd like to introduce you to the split steps. You often see famous players in this position because they want to take off quickly from either foot. So if I get now Len to introduce the ball again, I'm in this position, he introduces the ball, and there I am, very quickly. I get the same with Liz on the backhand side. I'm really alert, and I move. Okay, let's go out on court and practice that, shall we? Okay, stop. Look, Julie. When Kirsty's turning and coming round, I want her to be a bit springier on the feet, all right? And she just sort of hangs this left hand down here, all right? I want her to bring the left hand to help her set up the ball onto the racket. Just don't want it to floppy, sort of, all right? So, get a little bit nearer, Julia, if you like. Okay, now. And bring the foot over, the other foot, the left foot, huh? The left. Okay, you can hold the racket a bit shorter. If you find it helps you more with control here, do you?
Yeah.
All right then, well that doesn't matter. You can do that. Do it in one go, do it in one go, do it without the turn. Be there, you toss the ball and she's springy. No, yeah. That's it. All right, let's see you do a bit more of that. No, there, that's it. There, and over you go. Okay, doesn't matter, yeah, bring the hand. So let's see you. Yeah, good. Quick takeoff and over. Yes, good. Now, see? So you get it about here, the ball. So, there. That's better. Now, springy, 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 springy. That's it. Come on, let us start working. Good. Fine. Yes. Now, she's starting to look like a tennis player. Now she's looking like a tennis player. Good. Put the arms more out in front, Kirsty. Put the arms out. That's it. Get it away from you, the racket. That's good. Off you go. Oh, that's better. Come on, let's all have a little bit more springiness in the feet. A little bit. This is a reaction stroke, huh? So, Rosemary, let's have a look here. He looks a little bit stiff. I want him a bit more alive, huh? Really alive. Now, I want you to set this ball up better, okay? Now, come on, let's have some movement. Move, 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 and over. That's it. Okay, move, move, move. Come, over. And if the ball's low, I want him to bend these legs. Over. Okay? Let's have a little bit more action into it. Now, we've got to put more movement into it, all right? Come on, let's have these split steps. Let's have these split steps. Quick takeoff. Come on, speak to him, Rosemary. Tell him what to do. Come on. Come on, I want him to really work there. Now you've got a chance to get your own back. I know he's your old man, but you really can. Come on. You can actually have a forehand grip and change. You know? Start to learn to change the grip. Forehand grip, change. There, good. Very good. Forehand grip, change. Ah, all right. Maybe it's too much all at once. But you try it. Either with a backhand grip or a forehand grip. You've got to get used to changing the grips as a beginner. Oh, brilliant. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's good. That really is. Well, there's not much to correct there. Oh, there's not much to correct there. Now we're going to put more movement into it. If you just come back over here, and I'll get Julie to help me with this demonstration. Okay, Julie, if you come a little bit nearer the net here. I'm in the ready position, and I'm going to turn, and I want you to toss the ball now further away so that I've got to run for it. I'm going to make contact. The left foot's going to be leading, and I'm going to play the ball back to you gently, and then I'm going to sidestep back into the middle of the court. Again, I turn, then she sends the ball wider over there, and I'm going to start off with the right foot, run, make contact, and play it back to Julie again. And then I get a third person and start directing this ball over to the right or over to the left. Fine? So, I'm in the ready position, and you're going to tell me to do what? Turn. Okay, come. So, turn right now. I'm going to run for it. Oh, my word, Julie. And I sidestep back into the middle of the court. Turn. Okay. Oh, my word. So, and I come back here again. Not quite so far, because I wanted a bit too old. Now we're bringing in Gordon. And you just stand over there. I'm going to actually put the ball now to Gordon, so I shan't be putting it back to you. You can get another ball out of the bucket, all right? So I'm in the ready position. Turn. Follow through. Now, notice that I start to run with the right foot on the right hand for the backhand. And I sidestep back, good court positioning. I turn, I start with the left. The left foot is leading, and I put my racket head in the direction of where I'm going to play the ball. And I come back, sidestep back into the middle, turn, change the grip. Oh, look what I had to do there. Now, that is a very good point. If the ball is played directly at you, you've turned, now the weight's on that right foot. What you would do is you would dance around the ball and put the right foot forward. So let's do that. I'm in the turn position. I'm expecting the ball over there. Suddenly it's here. Watch my foot movement. Okay, it's there, and in I come and make contact. Good follow through. All right? Of course, it's the same on the forehand side. I'm in a ready position. I turn. The ball all of a sudden is straight at me, and I've got to move, dance around the ball, and react very quickly. Sidestep back into the middle. Woo. Okay, fine. So let's now have a couple of volunteers, and we're getting to this practice. So, come on, Elizabeth, over you go. Come on, Paul, over here. Now, Julie, you can work young Paul here. Get him running left and right. Oh, I'm out of breath. Fine. Now, ready position? So I'll leave you to it. Tell him to turn. Ah, he's got to move. You've got to move him like you did me, Julia, huh? Ah, he didn't show you the end position, Julia. You want to see if everything's correct at the end, huh? Okay, he wants to bend that leg a bit more. Now he's got to move. Ah, he's not showing you the end position, is he? He's not showing you the end position. Oh, Julia, look. The idea of this is that you actually want him to get the ball, all right? You don't want him to run so that he doesn't get it. He does want to get the ball. So you've got to set it up, but he wants to take, what, 4, 5, 6 steps? I don't know. But get him to move, but you want him to get it. That's it. Now, you want to check. Is that good? Yeah, then say to him, that's all right. Very good. And then he sidesteps back. That's very good, isn't it? That's very good for a beginner. Okay, now, Paul, don't play the ball back to Julia. Try and play the ball to Gordon so that we get some nice shots down the line or cross court. Start directing the ball now. So you see where Gordon is? Okay, doesn't matter. Try and bring the racket head in the direction of where you're going to play the ball. Oh, that's good. Sidestep back. Well done, Liz. That's it. Well done. Now, look at this front leg. Tell it to dip it twice. Yeah, she does it on the back. Tell her. Don't say sorry. Don't say sorry. When you turn, just turn the shoulder. Huh? Oh, wait a minute, just a moment. Yeah. Now, when you turn, do it on the forehand again. You're not bringing the left shoulder around enough to then. Yes. It's no. You don't move the racket. All you do, you can actually bring it round there. So, all right. Dancing. That's it. Get the bottom down. That's better. Much better. That's it. Okay, get the shoulder round. Okay, that's fine. Stop. Could I have you all on court, please? And I want to introduce you to a simple drill, and it's with a volleyer and two forehand players playing the ball backwards and forwards to each other, and the volleyer comes out and volleys every second shot. All right? Fine. Now, don't forget, play the ball gently to each other. It's up to the volleyer to play the ball gently back to the forehand player every second shot. Well done. That's very, very good. That's good, Georgie, Elizabeth, and Stephen. Excellent. Keep it going. No, if it's forehands, it's only forehands. Don't put the odd backhand in. Keep to the routine. Very dancey steps. Come on. That's good, Janet, Paul and Julie. That's excellent. Very, very good. That's very good, Julia. The feet are good. Excellent. And I'd like to show you the service in slow motion on the monitor, the grip, the stance, and the ready position, which is slightly different. And I bring the arms down together and up together. The racket goes behind my back. I throw the racket head at the ball and I follow through. And there you'll notice that I haven't moved, because I don't want you to move to chase badly placed balls. I'll do it again, and now this is from a slightly different angle. The line up, the arms come down together, up together, and now you'll see that I'm going to really stretch up to hit this ball at the highest point, and again I follow through, and now I bring the right foot over the line, and this adds to balance, more power, and when I want to run in towards the net. But I consider that the very important parts of the service are the rhythm and timing. So we're going to actually start the service with our hands. Now if you put your rackets down, I'll demonstrate the service. First, the feet shoulder width apart or in a comfortable position. I extend my right arm as high as it will go, and now the back foot is on its toes. I've got the ball in my left hand in the fingertips with the palm facing upwards, and I bring the arm with an extended left arm down and up and catch the ball at the very highest point. Now, let me see you all do that, please. Now, in a side position, as high as you can get, bring the ball first here, in front, take it down, and just simply put it into that right hand if you're the right-hander, and of course in the left hand if you're a left-hander. And really stretch up and catch this ball. Stretch up. Okay. Okay, fine, stop. Now, after having made contact, the next part of the stroke in the service is the follow-through. So I'm going to learn that again with my hands. I bring the arm down, I put it into the right hand, and now as I bring the arm down and forward, I turn the palm of my hand where the ball is from right to left. So I'm at the very highest point and I turn from right to left and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and underneath my left arm and outside of my left leg. Okay, let me see you all do that. Feet comfortably apart, put the ball into your hand and bring it down slowly. You can actually count in slow motion. Okay, and again. Down, up, catch, and turn from right to left, outside of the left leg if you're a right-hander. Now, I now bring my playing arm behind my head. I put the ball again in exactly the same position, and I come down and put the ball into the air and bring the hand from behind my head and catch it again at the very highest point. Okay? I demonstrate once again. The ball in the left hand with the fingertips, the palm of the hand is facing upwards. I bring the arm down and up, the hand from behind the head, catch at the very highest point and stop. When that's correct, or if I've caught the ball at the correct position, then again I can turn and follow through. But if I should, for example, catch with the ball here, then I don't want to follow through from there. I would then bring my hand into the correct position, even with it, bring it to the correct position and follow through. All right? Let's see you practice that. Down, and then bring the hand from behind the head and catch the ball. And if it's a good contact point, then follow through. Okay, that's fine. Now, I bring my right hand and I put the palm of my hand as if it's the racket, and I put the in front of me together, and this is the stance. I put the weight on the back leg, and now I'm going to learn the rhythm. I'm going to bring the arms down together and up together, and when the arm is in this position, I'm going to release the ball and catch it again with the left hand. So I do it again. I can bring them down together and up together and catch the ball at the highest possible point. Okay? So down together and up together and catch the ball. Let me see you do that. Okay, that's fine, good. Excellent. And now there's a very exciting trick, I think, for the service that really gets the rhythm into the stroke. So I turn round and show you from the back, and I'm now going to tap the back of my head very gently twice as I put the ball into the air and just catch it again. I'll show you. It's very interesting. So I come down and I go up, and I go 1, 2, and I catch the ball. 2 taps, and after the second tap, I catch the ball. So I'll do it again. Down together, up together, 1, 2, and catch the ball. Okay, let's have a go at that. Because this will give us the rhythm for the service. When you start, the weight on the back foot, bring the arms down together, and then transfer the weight onto the front foot as you're going to catch the ball again with the left hand. And really extend this left hand. Of course, that's if you're a right-hander. Okay, that's fine. Stop. Now, we're going to forget the 2 taps and tap just once, and I'll turn around again and show you from the back, and I bring the arms down together and up together. 1, all right, and catch the ball, and now I'm going to come out and do it again, and up together. 1, 2. Catch at the very highest point. If it's correct, then I turn from right to left, bring the arm slowly downwards in slow motion, and follow through. So I demonstrate it from this angle, then you can see better as well. I bring the arms down together, up together. 1, 2. Now that was a little bit forward, so I bring it to the correct position. I turn and bring the arm down outside of the left leg and underneath the left arm, okay, in slow motion. Let's see you practice that. Weight on the back foot. Don't start so high, Stephen. That's it. think of the right hand or the playing hand being the racket. Okay, one tap behind the head. And if you put the ball into the wrong position, then correct it. For example, if you put it over to the left or to the right, correct it, put it into the correct position. For example, there, Janet, put it in the correct position, and then follow through from the correct position. That's excellent. That's very, very good. Now, by doing this with our hands, we'll speed the service greatly. Don't bend too much, Len, from the back, all right? You just want to catch it at the highest point and then follow through. First, the grip. A simple way to find the grip is just simply to bounce a ball down with the edge of the racket. The grip is very similar to the backhand. All right? Now, the build-up of the stroke is exactly the same as how we did it with the hands. I will extend my arm to the very highest point. I put the ball in the left hand with the fingertips, with the palm of the hand upwards and the elbow toward the ground, and the arm is straight, relatively straight. And I simply place the ball onto the racket. The racket head is slightly open because I want at this stage to play the ball more upwards than forwards. I don't want the ball going into the net. So I bring the arm down and up and simply, again, make contact. I do it again. I'm at the fully stretched position. The racket face is open. I bring the arm down and up, put it onto the racket head, and the follow through. Bring the arm down, turn from right to left, and in slow motion. So I'm learning this service with muscle control exercise. Now I bring the racket exactly the same as what I did with the hands, behind my back, the hand behind the head, because it's a throw-in action, the service. Putting the arm down, put it in the air, make contact, and follow through. I support the racket with the middle finger. The ball is in the fingertips. The arms are nice and relaxed near the body. The racket head is high, and I bring the arms down together and up together and release the ball and catch it again at the highest point. I do it once again. Weight on the back foot, nice and relaxed, in a good stance. Bring the arms down together and up together, release the ball and catch it again at the highest point. Now, a very exciting trick which I think helps the service immensely, and that is that I'm going to actually tap my back twice with the edge of the racket, exactly the same as we did with the hands. I come down together, up together, 1, 2. Now you can forget the second tap and make contact with the ball because it's a throw-in action. Bring the arms down together, up together, 1, 2, make contact and follow through. And this will help you learn the service much quicker. If you can get the arms working together, the timing and the rhythm of the serve, oh, you'll learn the service really very quickly. Okay, let's go out on court and practice that, shall we? The first practice is the contact point. Okay, sidewards to the net, feet shoulder width apart. The grip, you can bounce the ball down with the edge of the racket to establish the grip, and you want to be reasonably near the net. Don't forget, the first thing that we want to do is to get the ball over the net in the service. This is why we're near to the net. And then as we progress, we shall gradually come away from the net and add parts of the stroke. Really stretch. Oh, that's good. Okay, fine. Now we're going to add the follow through. So you make good contact and add the follow through like I showed you in the demonstration area. Off you go. And in slow motion. That's good. Fine. Keep on checking the grip by bouncing the ball down with the edge of the racket so that it's just comfortable. Don't need to know any more about the grip than that. And follow through in slow motion. Jolly good. Fine. That's good. Come on, I should be hearing a lot more comments, or is it that good? It's that good, is it? All right, fine. Okay. Let's stop there then, and we'll add the next part of the stroke. Don't forget the weight is on the back foot to start with. When the racket's down behind your back, it's on the back foot, and then it comes up as the shoulders turn. So check the balance, all of you. Still slow motion. You don't want to do it too quickly. We're learning to serve with muscle control exercise. We're so near the net, there shouldn't be any problem about getting the ball over the net from here, if you hit gently upwards. Okay, fine. Now let's put the rhythm into the stroke. You can stop now and again if you want to and look at your partner and see if they're doing it correctly. For example, George, watch Liz here. And when it's at the back, it looks a bit like that. Let's do it quite naturally. Just down and take it up. Yes. See, look at it. Check. Look round. Yes, that's right. Okay. Now check yourself. Check yourself. Down together, up together, there. You see the difference? You see the difference? It was coming round like this, and now it wants to come down together, up together. Okay. Really stretch up with this left arm if you're a right-hander, and of course with the right, my left-hander's down there. Now we're going to do this interesting part of actually tapping twice behind our back. You can check each other, make comments if the ball is high enough. But really what you should be checking here is the racket going down between is it going down the back?
No, put your bit down a bit. You're hitting it up here. Down. Yeah. It's all right until I dropped it. No, sort of more over that way. It's supposed to be that way.
It's fine. It's fine when you think about it. It's just sometimes you go back. Is that what it goes? Yeah.
I'm in the wrong place.
I did it. Telling you about it, I've done it. I knew I was doing it.
Okay, stop. That's very good. Now, if we can get that right, it's going to help us immensely with the next part. Because what we're going to do is that we're going to forget the second tap, and that is going to become the throwing action. So now you can serve backwards and forwards to each other. Keep on checking each other. Come on, let me hear now you commenting on each other's stroke.
I put the ball too far over there and threw it. You were ready to begin. Your arms were too stretched out. Have to be in a much more relaxed position.
Good one.
Here, your elbows slightly bent.
You just hit it, went down. Straight away.
It was a bit hard, but it was good. Still having trouble placing the ball.
When you're throwing your ball up, try and throw it from your fingertips more. Perhaps that might help you a bit. Still doing it too hard, aren't you? That's it. That's better.
That felt more comfortable.
It's very good.
Feel more comfortable.
slicing it down.
Am I throwing it too far that way?
You should bring your racket out. You're going like that. Slicing it across instead of hitting it flat. That's better. Yeah. Your racket's in bend a bit.
That was better. Do you feel you're really stretched there?
Not really, no.
I think you could be a bit higher.
Still not quite high.
Felt higher that time, though.
Now I want to start getting you further away from the net, and I want you to do the stroke now in its entirety. And if you have a successful shot, you can take a pace backwards. If you have a failure, then you remain where you are.
Very good. One step back. Good.
Rubbish. Hit it straighter.
Hit straight.
Try and reach high. Try and hit it at the higher point.
Okay.
Very good. One step back.
You lost balance, didn't you? Yeah. Come forward a bit. It's alright. You're not doing very well. You're right.
This is how you've been doing it with without any movement from the feet. And now I want you to start bringing this back foot over the line. But first I'll demonstrate without moving the feet. And now I'm going to bring the back foot over the line for more power, and when I'm going to run towards the net for more momentum. All right? So I've got the feet shoulder width apart. The rest of the service remains the same. I bring the arms down together and reach up, and now that right foot comes over the line, a real positive step, and it helps me with my balance, and very good for when I'm going to attack the net. All right, off you go. Let me see you do that. You can still comment on each other's stroke, but now you're watching for this back foot coming over the line. But still keep the form of the stroke. Don't do it so quickly now that all the beautiful control that you've learned is gone. Keep that front foot on the ground, the weight on the back foot. If you could come to about halfway between the service line and the base line, I'll show you what we're going to do. I'll demonstrate now with Liz, and we're going to introduce the service return. So Liz is in a ready position. I'm serving, and I want to serve onto Liz's forehand. So I take up my stance, everything that we've learnt, and I'm going to serve, and I want her to concentrate on the return of service. Now, I serve, and keeping the full split step. Okay, a volley. Good. And we can have a little rally. Good. In. And. Okay. Fine. Great. Very good. That's a good coach. The beginners are getting better than I am. And now I'm going to introduce you to some drills. So what is a drill? It's a predetermined sequence of strokes to preset conditions. That means knowing where the ball's coming from and where you're going to play it to. Now, it will also help us with our judgment, our anticipation. So it's going to put us under a little bit of pressure, but it doesn't matter if we make a mistake, as long as we've got a ball in our hand so that we can keep to the sequence. Let's go out on court and I'll show you what we're going to do. I set the ball up well for myself. I'm going to play a forehand cross. Julia is going to play a shot down the line and then running towards the net. I play a backhand, she plays a forehand volley, and then the ball goes to Janet. I run around the back of my group here and Julia does the same. Okay, off you go. Okay, that's good. Now, it doesn't matter about making mistakes. I don't want you to feel under any pressure, but I want you to learn to direct the ball, have a feeling of watching where the ball's going, judgment, anticipation, quick footwork. Very good, Julia, well done. Now, play the ball down the line. Now, of course, we've got a left-hander in this group, and he plays a backhand cross. So maybe we've got Janet on at the moment. She's playing the ball down the line. Now it's backhand. Try and keep to the sequence. It's very important that you've got a ball in that. And now our left-hander, and he plays a backhand cross. Okay, and a volley. Well done. That's very good. Now, good foot movement. Okay, doesn't matter. You're under no pressure. Just keep to the sequence. Always have a spare ball in your hand. Okay, fine. That was a good backhand. Don't forget the form of your strokes. You're still trying to help one another, but you're coming now to a game situation. So, Stephen, if you just go over there, and I want you to play forehand crosses to, now start off with Julia. I want you to intercept every second shot with a forehand volley and then carry on and go up behind Paul. So off you go, Stephen. Okay, that's fine. Keep the control. If you can't get it, it doesn't matter, but keep to the sequence. That's fine. After playing a forehand, oh, you could have got it, Liz. It doesn't matter if she doesn't get it. Okay, it's a bit hard. Oh, well done, Stephen. That was very good control. Well done. Come on, Julia. Bend that front leg. Okay, it was too high, so she couldn't get it. So off you go again. Yep. So it's forehand crosses. But a good interception. That was good, Julia. Well done. Bend that front leg. Good follow through. Keep the form of the stroke. So, let's get our instructor working, shall we? Come on. Let's get him moving, dancing. Come on, he should keep it only to forehands. Now, I want to put us into a volley situation. I'm going to volley the ball to Len. I want Len then to volley the ball to Andrew. And I want to see if we can get it down the line and then back again. I mean, if we can get it down the line, that's great. If we can get it back in, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Off we go. Oh, that's great. Good. Try and keep control. It doesn't matter if it breaks down. Introduce another ball. Well, we're not going to stop until I get one down the line and back again. So you've got to move those feet and play the ball slowly. Come on. Now, down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, bad luck. But we got it down anyway. Let's get it back. Come on, Rosie. Get it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done, Stephen. 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, and back again. Come on. Move, move. That's great. Come on, get it down. Go on, Rosie. Give another ball. Good. Okay, now, come on again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Georgie. 6, 7. Come on, Len. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. We can do better. I know we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 37. Fantastic. I want 2 servers, 2 volleyers, and 2 return of servers. I want our volleyers to try and cover the net, and now we're getting into a much more game situation. Try the return of servers to get the ball through by placing it rather than speed. You can see they're quite small, but they can move about a bit, and I reckon that they're going to block this net. But let's have a go. Off you go then, Paul. Nice service. Good. Now, through the middle. That's good. Move! Come on, move. Now, off you go, Janet. You introduce the ball from the other side. That's good. Very good. Okay, now you get it back. That's right. Now our servers don't actually have to stay on the baseline doing nothing. They can get the ball back again. Well done, Andrew. That was very good. Come on, Stephen. Good. That's what I like to see. Both of you going for it, rather than leaving it. That's even better. Off you go, Paul. Good. Come on, Janet. Yes. Great. Oh, come on, Stephen. You can move better than that. Let's have a bit of dancing in those feet. Okay, off we go. Everything you've learned. Good. Come on, through the middle. Okay, come on, retrievers. Not servers, sorry. Fine, fine. Yes, come on. Oh, well done, Andrew. You had a run around there. Think a little bit about your strokes. It doesn't want to all break down now what we've learned, does it? This should help us. In you go, Rosemary. Go on. I've seen that happen a lot of times. It's getting better all the time. And it's getting into a game situation, isn't it? Even with 6 people on the court.
Mine.
That's it. Mine. She wants it. That's what I want to hear. It's mine. Move those feet. Move them. Come on, move the feet! Yes! If you hadn't moved them, you would have got it back. Oh, come on! Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you very much. I get it, you'll get it. Oh, marvellous. You're on a tennis court, you've got to move. Huh? Not a tea party, is it? Now we're going to come into our first game. I want 4 of you on each court. We're going to start with a doubles. And I'd like Gordon on this court to serve, if you would. Yes, Liz, you could be return of server over there. Georgie, yes, you might have to come back a little bit further. Okay, more into the middle of the court. Okay, and I'm going to score this. I'm going to score this game. So let's have a bit of fun and enjoyment and think of all the things that we've been doing. A little bit of word of warning. I wouldn't try to win points by playing the ball hard. I would try to outfox the opposition. All right? So have a bit of fun. Off you go, and I'll make some corrections as we go along. Okay, so that's 15 love. You've got to change over then. Up back you go then, Georgie. Yes, in you come. Liz, okay, that's good. Rosemary, clear the balls from the court. Well done. Okay, 30 love. Well done. It was good. Over you come. You've got to be thinking of movement, thinking of all the things you've learnt, but keep the form in the stroke. You want a foot behind the line. That's it, fine. Okay, now, that was very good. But, Rosemary, you see, if he's forced over there, you would have to come back to, yes, you would have to go back to what they call the hot seat. You would have to make your way back there and cover the middle of the court. Okay, but that wasn't bad at all. But you can't just stand on that side. Okay? You've got to, yeah. Poor old Gordon's running around there and you're just watching him all the time. You can't have that. So you come over there. And it's better, Gordon, if you come a little bit more over to here. That's fine. Good. All right. Because you're covering this side of the court, you see? No, it was out. Okay. So we've got 2 services. Good, come on. Oh, we do that. We let them go. We don't even try. Oh, I see. Okay, fine. Well, it's 40 luck. What is it? Sorry, I've forgotten the score. That's great, isn't it? It's a coach telling you what to do and I've forgotten the score. Does anybody remember the score? Sorry? 40-15. Okay, fine. You can score better than I can. That's great. Okay, off you go. Okay, well that's game then, isn't it? That's fine. Let's have our last doubles on centre court. So I'm going to try and keep the score and try and comment on what you do, right or wrong, the good and the bad. Who's going to start off serving? So Paul, it would be better if you went a little bit over there because you've taken up a singles position. Now, Janet, be better if he's serving, you've got to be in at the net. Right in, come on, come on, come on, we've learnt to serve. Get up to the net, get up, that's it. Good. All right, Kirsty, you're blocking the middle, that's right. Now, nice and dancey on your feet. Let's have a good game. Okay, now let's go over to the other side, Janet. Hey, oh, he's going to stay there. Now it's too late. So here's the court position. All right, fine. Okay, that's it. 15, love. Now, Janet, you see now, when the ball came over your head, Paul went and got it. You can't stay there. Or he's going to run backwards and forwards all the time. So you've really got to come back and cover this hot seat in the middle here. Block the middle of the court, yeah? Until he's back until you're back in a good position. Get up to the net. Get up to the net. If they do a good return, you want to be there. Fine. You've learnt to volley. Good. Come on. Come on, Julie, you're going to get it. Well done, very good. But again, your court position. All right, very difficult to learn everything all at once. So what's that, 15 all? Okay, fine. No, it was out. Say that it's out, Julie. That's right. Be pleased about it. Oh. Yeah, but you should... Okay, doesn't matter. Fine. Good. So, what's that? 30-15. So you've got to come forward, Julia, a little bit. To the hot seat position. A bit more around there. That's it. Come on, Kirsty. Start dancing. Get those split steps, those jump up. That's right. Oh, all right. What a good serve. Everything was right. She was jumping. The ball came. And she go, whoop. All right, doesn't matter. Fine. Out. Well, you could see that it was out. You didn't have to bother to try and get it back. Hold it. Nice grip. Julia, that's it. Come on, nice and alert. Ah, that doesn't matter. Fine. Clear them up. No, was that the first service or 2? 2. Oh, the girls are in the lead, are they? Come on. It's 40-30. Okay, over to the right then a bit, towards the net. 40-30. 40-30. No, it's out. No, it isn't. That's the first service. Come on, 40-30. First service. Now, one service to come. Come on, Kirsty. Well done. Oh, my word. Juice. Juice to our final game. Well done. Great. So, come on then. You've got to carry on serving. Nice and springy on the feet. Come on, everybody who's waiting for the ball. Oh, bit. Place it. Think of placing it, not always hitting hard. Huh? Think of placing it in tennis. We've done all the groundwork. We want to keep the form of our strokes. We don't want to get involved with just play. Yes, that's exactly it. We don't want it going up round the neck, strangling ourselves. We want to keep the form. Come on, off you, come on, let you go. Come on, Julia. Go on, Johnny, over. In, Julia. Come on, yes. Oh, my word, and down. She's down and out. She's down and out. On the floor, well done, yes.